Hi, I'm Zane with Zane Engineers Life. So it's Friday story time again, and let's continue. So here I am, I'm working in manufacturing, and we're working on a bunch of motor lines and automated equipment and all these things that make window lift motors. The cool little motors that roll your windows up and down when you hit the button in your car. Now remember, I'm really old, so back in the day, this was kind of a luxury and a big thing. Not all windows rolled up and down when you hit the button. You still had to crank the old handle to get some air in the car. So anyway, we're working on these motor lines and automated equipment and all this kind of stuff. And lo and behold, the main plant manager had been replaced and there was a new guy. He had been around a little bit, maybe a few weeks or something, and rumors had it that he was kind of wound up and kind of excited about things, and probably so, makes sense being a new plant manager. Want to make sure everything's in line and kind of set the tone for, hey, we got to get stuff done and make some money for the company. So anyway, the plant's massive, right? If you're standing at one end of the plant, you can just barely see the back on the horizon. So we're way in the back one day and we're working on this piece of equipment, and myself and the maintenance technician, we have these control panels open, and massively big control panels, like multiple double doors. We've got them all open, everything's powered off. We're taking a look at this. We're trying to figure out what's going on with this machine. Well, the main street, that's how big the plant was. It was streets and avenues. The main street was super long. You could almost see to the front of the plant. Well, Bobby and I are standing there looking at this control panel, trying to figure out what's going on. And I catch a glimpse of the new plant managers walking down the main street. He's heading our way. So anyway, we're talking and we're working. And just as this guy gets kind of close to us, and he's dressed nice, he's got slacks, he's got nice shoes on, he's very professional looking. He's walking along, he's kind of a steady pace. Just as he gets right next to us, I go, "Hey, Bobby, I need you to go grab me a piece of copper wire about that long and the water hose. We've got to get this thing fixed." Well, the guy literally stops in his tracks. And he doesn't turn and look at us, but you can tell we have literally affected his soul. He kind of picks up his pace very quickly, doesn't say anything to us, but he picks up his pace and we see him head straight for our area plant manager's office. Well, it wasn't but a few seconds later, we heard a door slam open and someone running toward us yelling, "Hey, hey, hey, hey." We look up and our boss comes sliding up and he goes, "What in the hell is going on?" And I go, "Oh, we were just having some fun with the new plant manager." Probably not a good idea, right? Boss was not happy. He said, "Close the panels, get away from here. I'll go fix this." So anyway, he went and talked to the guy, and we got in trouble. We got fussed out a little bit, but in the end, everybody had a good laugh. So anyway, I think the moral of that story is probably don't mess with your boss's boss. So moving on, that's me again messing with people. So not too long after that, same plant, I go to the cafeteria one day for lunch. Real big cafeteria, a lot of people working at this place. So I go in, I sit down, having lunch and all, and one of the machine operators is there. Now, I've talked to the guy a few times. He goes, "Hey, Zane," and he has, I don't know if you guys remember the big Stanley thermoses, big metal monster thermoses. So he has a big Stanley thermos. He's got the top open, and it's one of the big ones. And he goes, "Hey, Zane, would you like some fruit?" And he holds this cup up in front of me. And I go, "Oh, man, are those cherries?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, sure, I love cherries." So I have a few, and man, they're good. And, I'm like, "Are they homegrown? I don't know. Where do cherries grow?" Um, he's like, "No, no." He tells me some stuff he does with them. He's like, "Do you want some more?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." So anyway, I'm pounding cherries. Well, I eat like almost a whole cup of the cherries, and the guy takes the thermos and fills up another cup and has a nice big sip of it, like it's sweet tea or water or something. Well, anyway, by the end of lunch and not long after that, I'm not feeling amazing. Something's just not right. Well, anyway, I work my way in and I go into my boss's office and something's just not right. And I'm like, "Man, I don't feel so good." And the boss takes one look at me. He goes, were you just in the cafeteria? I was like, yeah. He goes, you weren't talking to so-and-so, were you? I was like, yeah, I was. He had some fruit and I was eating some fruit with him. And he was like, oh crap. He calls Bobby, maintenance tech. He says, Bobby, take Zane and hide him in the back maintenance area and lock the door and do not let him out. Well, here's what I didn't know and I found out later. The juice that was in there was not cherry juice and it wasn't water. It was apparently moonshine. Dude made his own stuff and he liked to soak fruit in it, and then he would bring it to lunch and he literally drank it like water. Wow, right? Humorously, the next day, when I was feeling a little better, I went into the cafeteria again, and there he was sitting at the lunch table. And he said, hey, Zane, I've got some peaches today. Would you like some fruit? And I said, hell no, get away from me. Not funny. So anyway, morals of the story, don't mess with the boss's boss, because you're probably going to get a little karma, because later on, the second moral of the story is, just because someone offers you something sweet, they may not have your best interest at heart. So that's what I have for you today. That's Friday's story. Smash that like button and subscribe. Watch to the end. Help us get the word out. Let everyone know about us and share us wherever you can. I'm Zane with Zane Engineers Life, and we'll make you better.